Hello. All right, so we are just going to have a little chat about survival response. So, when we've experienced a traumatic event, we will experience some kind of survival response. So, that's when the brain is sensing a threat and the nervous system is choosing one of the survival strategies, which are fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So fawn is one that you may not be as familiar with. It's one that's become, research has sort of brought it to the forefront in recent times, and it's now become an accepted and well-established part of the survival response. So none of them are wrong. They are automatic and they are designed to keep you safe. Okay, so this is your body, your nervous system, your brain looking after you as a whole to keep you safe. The problem that comes with all of this, and the reason that we're talking about it, is that if we have had a background of trauma, we can then find that when things happen in our everyday life, we trigger a trauma response where something that's happened in the past is triggered, and we potentially have this survival response when there actually isn't a threat. We perceive something in our environment to be a threat, or we're in a state of hypervigilance all the time because we've come to believe that the world is not safe and we are in danger. So as we've talked about in other videos, just practicing taking deep breaths and saying I am safe is actually really helpful. So just touching back on the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, looking at them a little bit in more depth. So fight means standing up to the threat. That's when you get angry, defensive, you need to be in control, and you might become aggressive or violent. Flight is when you are wanting to escape. So you might not actually run out of the room, but you might feel restless. It might show up in other ways, like overworking or avoiding or physically leaving. So there's lots of different ways. So it's not, as I said, not just running out of the room, but when I say physically leaving, it might be moving house. It might be going somewhere else. You might physically take yourself somewhere else, as well as potentially running out of the room. You might do that too. Freeze, when we talk about freeze, it's when we shut down. Often people will talk about that feeling of going numb, becoming closed off or closed down. Yeah, just that shut down sort of feeling or a closed off feeling. You might feel stuck. You might actually literally feel unable to move, disconnected, can't communicate, can't speak. You might feel your throat has closed up and you're really shut down. And finally, fawn. So you might have heard it described more often as people pleasing. Really common response that you will find often with people who have had some kind of background of trauma, where people pleasing becomes very, very common. It's trying to keep other people happy, avoiding conflict, sacrificing your needs to stay safe. So just pause, have a little think about that. You might be sort of thinking, oh yeah, I really recognize one of those as my go-to. Or, as we talked about, you might have a particular response that you go to in a particular situation or with a particular person. The important thing to remember, and the reason that we're talking about this right now at this moment, is to remember that these responses are not character flaws. They are not weakness. They are not something wrong with you. They're not something, that you have to get rid of or feel ashamed of. They are protective patterns that your body and mind have created to survive. So sometimes they become habits, and as we've just talked about, show up even when there's no danger. The key is to notice when the responses come up for you and then learn ways to calm and ground yourself. With awareness and practice, you can gently shift out of survival mode and into a state of safety and choice. Okay, and that's why I'm putting up all these little videos trying to encourage just these small practices, and it might just be 5 minutes a day. It's going to make a difference. Practice breathing down deep into the belly. Telling yourself, I am safe. Put up those little reminders, sticky notes all over the house. I am safe. Practice makes perfect. All right, we're going to do a very simple little grounding technique. Feet flat on the ground. You can just close your eyes for a minute and rest. So just to finish this little discussion, we're just going to connect with our body. Press your feet gently down into the ground, just feeling the support beneath you. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, imagine that there's roots growing down from your feet, deep down into the ground, steady and strong. Breathing deeply, notice the chair holding you, the floor supporting you, and your breath gently moving in and out. And say quietly to yourself, I am safe. Right now, I am safe. Right now, I am here. Take another deep breath, deep into your belly, feeling your tummy expand. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Well done. Good job.